How you doing, guys? Today I am working on the Senior. Small project. I don't have a whole lot of time today, so I'm going to try to pick at this project or this part of the project today, get it done. Coming up shortly in another video, probably the next video, if everything goes okay, we're going to be starting to put this Wisconsin AEN back together. But like I said, not a whole lot of time today, so let's just go ahead and work on this particular piece, and that is the clutch actuation rod. This is the bar, or the rod if you want to call it, that goes from the foot pedal to the lever on the side of the Ford transmission, and this is the foot pedal right here. And when you press the pedal, this goes in, which then moves the rod and then forces the throwout bearing onto the fingers of the pressure plate. As you can see, let's see, I'll try to get this sort of focus for you. This is a total piece of, you fill in the blank. These nuts are never going to move. The J hook itself is bent. It's pitted to heck. And then the little pin, or the rod that goes into the arm on the transmission, it is just totally destroyed. And you can see right there the cotter pin. I had to cut the cotter pin with a hacksaw. Actually, I think there was a nail. Sorry, I think there was a nail there that I had to cut in order to get this thing off. So we're going to go ahead and totally remake and replace that bar today. The J hook, or this adjustment hook that I call it. In a prior video, I made 3 of them. One went right here for the rear brake, and there's another one on the other side over here for the other brake. So I made those 2 out of 3/8 bar stock, and then I made a third one, which is the one that goes here, which is going to work mint. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to make this part of the bar, as well as find the pin, or a material for the pin itself that goes into the transmission. This is a 1/4 thick by 3/4 wide. So I went to McMaster Car and ordered a piece of bar, flat bar like this from them. And in my junk bin, I should have a piece of 3/8 bar stock that I can use to cut it up for that peg. I also have the reproduction big nuts in a bag, so we'll dig out some of those. So that's the plan for today. Hopefully it works out. Let's get in the shop, let's get the material out, and we'll start getting this thing put together. In order to make this part, I just went through and collected what I needed. This is a piece of 1/4 inch thick by 3/4 inch width, 12 inches long piece of bar stock that I got from McMaster Car. It's much longer than needed, but that's good, because we're going to need a little extra material here and there in order to get it to the right size, form, and shape. This is just a piece of junk that I had thrown in my little junk bin down there. Essentially, this is a 3/8 piece of bar stock, so I'm just going to cut the threads off it, cut it like right here, and then I'm just going to use this piece of it. I'll trim it to size, get it to fit, and then it's just welded on the back side. That's all Wheel Horse did. They just snot welded it to the bar itself, and then they drilled it for the little cotter pin. So that's where the material is gonna come from. The first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make this 90-degree bend. So I'm just gonna, somewhere right around in here, that way I know I have enough material, but somewhere right in here we'll get the MAP gas torch, we'll turn this thing super cherry red hot, and then we'll bend it in the vise in order to make that 90-degree bend. From there, the next thing I'll do is I'll measure from this side to the center of the bolt. That's where the 3/8 hole needs to be, and then I'll trim back whatever extra I have hanging off. The next thing I'll do is I will measure from this side to the center of this post. That'll set me where I need the hole to be, drill it 3/8, and then I'll trim back whatever's left over of the bar, so that way everything just works out, in theory, the exact same dimensions. All right, so let me get this set up so we can go ahead, heat this up and make that 90-degree bend. As the bar stock cooled off, because I didn't quench it or anything like that, I just let it cool off naturally by the ambient temperature. I went ahead and cut the end off and dressed the end of the peg that I need to weld here at this end. Right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a couple holes. I got to drill a 3/8 hole in this tab, and I have to drill a 3/16 hole right here at the end of this 3/8 bar stock for the cotter pin that goes there. So I'm going to go ahead. This is going to get drilled in the drill press with this angle. I'm probably going to have to drill it in my vise. So we're going to go ahead and mark all these pieces and drill them up, and hopefully we'll be able to, you know, everything will line up and look real nice. Okay, so I have the bar drilled. Unfortunately, the hole's not as centered as I'd hope. My drill bit walked, one of the drill bits, I believe it was this one right here, when I went to this size to drill it out, it walked on me, and as you can see, it's not perfectly centered, but it is what it is. I don't have another piece of this bar stock, so we're gonna roll with it. I did do the I did cut it and finish the end of it, so it looks really super nice. When I put the J-hook in, which is right over there, I did notice that this is not quite square, so I made a little mark here. This corner has to come in a little bit, and then it needs to be bent 90 degrees a little bit more. I tried to do it with it cold, and it's not working out, so I'm going to get the torch, heat this thing up cherry hot, and then manipulate it to where I need it to be. Okay, so after a little bit of a reheat and a little bit more bending, that looks really good. I think that looks real. That might be a little tweaked still, but not bad at all. Like I said, unfortunately the hole's not perfectly centered in the bar, but oh well. When it's in this position on the tractor, you're never going to notice that. Next up is, what am I going to do next? Oh yeah, I'm going to go ahead and drill the 3/8 hole for the stud that goes into the transmission arm. All right, so we got things drilled and basically set up. Got the 3/8 hole drilled where I needed it. I drilled out the end of the 3/8 bar stock for the cotter pin. I took a measurement. I have it backwards only because I could see the broken off cotter pin better in this position. And it appears to be about 1/2 inch from the bar. So that's how I've got this set up. Take a 1/2 inch, it goes right to about the center of the hole. So I'm going to go ahead and make a mark here. I'm going to cut this down, clean it all up, and get it ready to weld the peg in place. And there it is. I think it came out pretty good. I wish a couple things had come out a little better. I mean, I wish this hole was centered a little bit better. And then when I welded this piece in, I accidentally put the cotter pin hole not straight up and down, but in general, I mean, I think they look pretty darn close. Just so you know where this kind of goes on the tractor as we're looking at the transmission, is this peg actually goes in that hole right there. and then this goes in the foot pedal, and then it actuates the throwout bearing in this fashion. So it looks like it's going to be just fine. If you, I don't know if you can just, you know, I'll just put like a washer right here and then drive the pin in, and that'll keep it nice and stable. So I'm real happy with that. That should work out. And then, oh, let's take a look. My crappy welding is actually pretty good because it matches the crappy welding to the most part of the original piece. So there it is, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hopefully you might have seen me do something that, you know, might help you in remaking a part on your tractor. You know, I just wanted to get this done so that way everything would work nice and smooth. I'll have full adjustability because this is just, I mean, even with a torch, you're not going to get that done. Look how rotted that nut is. And then on top of that, look at the wear. And then this is just destroyed. So it was the only way to go. So we'll add this to the no longer using on the senior parts bin, which is underneath my car here. Bye-bye. All right. With that, thank you very much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, please leave a comment below. I do read all the comments, and I do respond to them. You know, I do respond to them, maybe not as soon as you put it up, but I definitely will respond to you because I appreciate all your viewership. All right, guys, until the next project, you have a great day.